Good evening all. How the devil are you? Hope you're all well. Thank you very much for coming over and joining us for another special guest Earworm. We have one of the trio from Easy Wood Tools. So let's bring the guys in.
Oh no.
So we have Brian, Terry, and Doug from Easy Wood Tools.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks, Doug, for coming over and joining us. Hopefully, we're going to get loads of questions in for Doug, knowing why. We want the question. We want to know why Easy Wood Tools are superior to any other tool on the market. There you go. That's a good challenge for you.
That's the first question.
Glad to tell you.
Right. So in the background, I'm going to be actually I'm in the foreground, but these guys are going to be in the background. I'm going to be turning something I see on Facebook a few weeks ago. I can't find a picture. So if not, I'd show you. So basically, it's an art piece. It's like it's hard to explain. It's got a slight dome on one side, and then the center is all spiky and horrible. And then there's the same on the other side. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little tiny 2mm tenton in there, no mortise in there, with a bit of a dome on it to make a bit of a feature of it, and then turn it on one side. And then we're going to flip it, do the same on the other side, and I'm going to use the Proxon carving Proxon long neck grinder with an Abrasive blade in it to create some nasty spikes and rough looking bits, and then we're going to colour it. depending on what we do tonight, depending on how far I get with it. But it's going to be mounted on a brass pin and then with a base on it. But I doubt I'll get that far tonight. But I will show you guys when I finish it. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the turning side. So as always with the special guest Airworm, make sure there's loads of questions come over and ask Doug some questions. That's what he's here for. If there's anything you need to know about Easy Wood Tools, then now's the time to ask it. Other than that, have fun. So I'm going to go and start turning, and I think Terry's going to welcome
Thank
you all in.
goodness.
What do you mean, thank goodness?
I am. Well, get you be yapping for bloody 5 minutes. Get on with it. When I'm in a minute, you say, I ain't got time to do it now. Get on to it.
All right, Dad.
Person in the
Oh
background.
yeah, fine.
Are you whining? Are you whining already, Terry?
That's nice of you, Mother.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the Muppets Show with special guest star Brian. Right, so here we are.
It's
Welcome,
time to
everybody.
meet the Muppets.
And this is Steve's Friday night. And the first one of the night was Wayne the Woodturner, and Frederick Day followed him, followed by Doug Miller, Todd of Glencoe Woodworks, Alan Gibson, Albert Dawson's there, Roger Kent, Lucy Bundy Rowe is there, or the potato is in anyway. Ian Tavernan is in, Vinnie Charlton, James Crawford's there. The Yorkshire Get in, Hello Glyn, Christina Michael Hasseltine are in. Old Man Rivers just joined us as well. Des Barnwell, Nigel Harvey, Steve Fleming, Robert Boulder, Twisted Pete, i.e. Pete Twisted Trees, Barry's Wood Creations there, Norman Greenwell is there, Brian Walker, Ailey from Wooden Burl, Andy from AGK Woodworks, Paul Finley's joined us as well, and scanning down the list that I am, Shane Hurst has joined us, William Kenny's there. And I think that's all of them for now. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining. Don't forget, Doug's here from Easy Wood Tools. Please put a capital Q or something in front of your questions because we may miss it otherwise.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yorkshire Grit's in there already. He's a question.
What's it? Oh, yeah. What made you buy Yorkshire Grit?
Do you have to ask? It is an awesome
Easy
product.
profit, I'd say.
No, it was a no-brainer for us when for years we had been using it before the purchase, obviously, and it was just such an awesome product. When the availability came up for Glenn Senior, who was the originator, obviously, of the Yorkshire Grit, was looking to possibly sell. We started talking to him, and we said, under one condition, we'll take on your company. And the one thing was to have him come over and make sure that we made it spot on, the same way that he made it from the start to finish. So Glenn came over shortly after the purchase and spent a week with us at Easy Wood Tools. And we had him make sure that everything was mixed right, everything was heated right, everything was the same way he was doing it back in Yorkshire. So it was just something that we looked at and thought it would be a compliment to what we were already doing. We didn't have anything like that in our repertoire. So it was just, again, if it were any other company, probably would have been a no, but with Yorkshire Grit, just an awesome product, and we couldn't be happier with the product that we've got and the product that customers are getting. So there's still lots of good things about it.
And there's no change from, that's the thing, it was made exactly the same as it was in Yorkshire, so there's actually no change at all.
No change at all. So, yeah, exactly.
Paul Calvin has just joined us.
Yeah, we've got Harvey Klein's joined us as well, and Wivy Woodshed Andrews joined us.
Andrew from AGK wants to know, are you coming back to Harrogate this year?
It looks like it. I know we will be represented there by Axminster. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same setup, but from the sounds of it, yes. I always love coming over there. We did Makers for years. We now look forward to Harrogate, but in a different capacity. We'll be there to help support Axminster, where before we were had our own booth and own stand, but now I'm sure the dust will settle here pretty soon, and all the arrangements will be starting to be made for travel, and I'd like to spend some more time over there rather than just the show, but possibly to spend some time with some of the retailers and Yorkshire Grit retailers as well.
That'd be good.
Cool. Excellent.
Excellent.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard.
There's a question from Alan Gibb as well. When did Easy Wood start up, and what inspired them to do so?
So the originator back in 2008 started with what was the carbide tipped rougher. It was just kind of a conceptual idea that he had. He came from machining world, metalworking, but he thought, well, why won't these carbide cutters work in the wood turning application? Because I guess he did a little bit of wood turning himself. He got a hold of Chris Caliendo, who's the owner of Total Engineered Products. That is where we produce our own carbide tips. So he and Chris colluded on what shapes, what sizes, and obviously what the benefit is, obviously, is to get the longer life out of the edge, and they're safer because you use them on center line versus high-speed steel, you're above center. So there was another safety factor in there that was kind of driving the originator to keep going with these tools. So the three shapes were concluded on what needed to be focused on, and then they went after, you know, the grades, geometry, and the grind of the carbide cutters, because that's pretty much where the rubber meets the road, and you want those to last as long as they can and be as easy to use and readily available. So that's the other thing is I know there's quite a few other folks out there that are trying to replicate what we do, but the main reason behind it was to make wood turning fun and a little bit easier to enter into when you're a newbie, as we call them. Mm-hmm. So that was the main reason behind it, was make it a little bit easier.
So let's clear one thing up then. Let's clear one thing up then, Doug. Easy Wood tips are made in America, not Chinese.
Correct. Our sister company up in Chicago, Illinois, manufactures the carbide tips and has been since day one, before even the founder got the company up and running and off as Easy Wood Tools. Chris was working with them out of the Chicago facility all these years. So since 2008.
Fabulous.
So there you go.
Yep. So,
excellent.
And another thing to consider is we've been around the longest as far as wood turning, carbide tip wood turning tools. We're going to be around probably longer than anybody else. So that's the other thing that we kind of tell people is some people have already come and went. Now they can't get tips for the tools that they spent money on. So they're struggling to find a way to replace those tips, and most likely they won't be able to. So their tool is now void. So just something to consider when looking at carbide tip tools. We've been around 16 years, and we plan to be around another 16, 20, 30 years. So just something to consider.
Frederick Dre's asked the question. He says, why are Easy Wood tools so expensive? I know they are carbide, but nearly £200 is a lot of money. Well, you know, you get what you pay for, actually. That's what
we get that question all the time, but there isn't anything that we don't consider when we're putting these tools together. We're using the finest wood that we can find. We're using 303 stainless steel for our toolbars, the assembly, the adhesion, the ferrules, the copper ferrules that we put on, the finish, the laser etching. They're almost a piece of work, of art, each one, because they're all going to be different. The carbide tips last longer than anybody else's. Again, longevity is important to people that are getting into the carbide. They don't want to go back and forth to their grinders, so they're looking for something that's going to last long, and that comes down to the tip. And again, we make 100% everything in the U.S. Nothing comes from overseas, so it is just quality that we build in, and these will be tools that will last you a lifetime, where others probably can't say that. We've heard stories of others that they don't stay together. The fit and finish isn't as well. The carbide tip, it looks like it just goes straight down, but we design it so it gets supported all the way around the cutter. Not only just being held down, but pushed back, and some others don't. So you'll notice a little bit of movement in some of others where you're not going to get that in ours. But again, that all comes into all the things that we've designed in over the years.
Brilliant. Christopher has joined us, and Mike Evans has joined us. Evening to you, everybody. lovely old job. And here's Steve. Now, Steve's turning a bit of wood, by the way, everybody. If you hadn't noticed.
Never. What is he?
Looks like a bit of ash, but it might not be. Only got a little picture here.
Yeah, it's a bit of ash.
Is ash?
It's a bit of ash.
Maybe some burning ahead then.
Well, Steve's a wood butcher, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Robert Copper always said quality materials is the bottom line.
Well, I think,
He's quite right, yeah. I agree with that too.
Yeah. So if you've ever held an Easy Wood tools in your hand and compared it to another tool, another maker, you'll see the differences. We put consideration in the weight. It's very well balanced. Just a lot of thoughtfulness goes into the building the tool itself. They're handmade. We don't do anything other than rough the wood handle in by CNC, but then the rest of it is sanded, finished, lacquered. We actually do the wire burning. If you see the rings on the Easy Wood tool handle, those are put on by hand. So everything is hand done. There is no automation in our process whatsoever, other than roughing the handles just to get them into the form that we can then take them, sand them, and finish them. Goes through a lot of processes of staining, finish on top of it. But again, if you just held one against another, you would see the quality that goes in.
I can agree to that. I was sent a set of cheap tools from a company who shall remain nameless. To do a review on, and I did the review, and I've got a couple of Easy Wood tools now, and the quality is there's no comparison in the quality.
Appreciate that.
Robert Broadward asks, what testing have you done on other tips to back up the statement that yours are better?
Well, we obviously take in competitors' tips to see obviously what theirs looks like, what kind of finish they have on them. We will actually take them and mount them if we didn't buy a tool with it, just to see if it will go back and forth as long as ours will without really starting to create sawdust sooner. So it is time consuming, but we do our research. We'll call it due diligence, because there's probably hundreds of grades of carbides out there that you can pick and choose from. A lot of the ones that you'll see on the market, which, like Brian said, they'll be nameless at this point. They'll pick maybe a metal cutting grade, which again won't hold an edge as long, but it can take some abuse. And then there's others that will use something that may be just different grain size, and again will not retain the cutting edge. And then obviously grind comes into place as well, how you grind it. Chris isn't on the call, but he went through probably 100 iterations of how to grind these cutters. It looks simple. It looks like it's just a simple grind, but there is science behind on how these are ground, and just wanting to hold that retention is the main thing that we're looking for. Obviously, we're in the business for selling cutters, but we also know nothing's infinite. It will wear out sooner or later. But we just try to make ours, and have made them, to last the longest.
And you sell the cutters separate then?
Yeah, each tool comes with a cutter on them when you purchase it, but then obviously you're going to need to replace the cutter at some point in time, and then we sell the cutters individually, yes.
Can they be sharpened, touched up, while you're...
So the salesman in me says no, they can't, but the practical guy will tell you yes. Now the negative breaks, I can tell you no, but the standard cutters, yes. We know people will take them and flip them over upside down and put them on a diamond file with a little bit of mineral oil, and just take the cutter and go back and forth in a circle or in its infinite or crazy eight.
Regular eight, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll never get factory sharp because carbide dulls. So when you can just get the top of the dullness, there's still an underlying radius that you didn't get rid of because of that wear that happens when it's turning resins or woods. So you can get it to sharpen a little bit just to get you through the project or until you can get your next cutter. Because it would take an awful lot of your time to try to get that dead sharp again. You'll have to take off 5-10 thousandths maybe to get rid of that underlying radius that's there. So it's a lot. Carbide, as you know, is the hardest outside of diamond. It's the hardest material on earth. So you'll just spend a lot of time if you want to.
I'm just I'm laughing at Paul Kavanagh's comment there. He says, "Do you sell the keys separately?" I've lost all mine. The history of Paul Kavanagh is Paul has the untidiest workshop in the country. So
yeah.
It's not the one that he's lost them.
My quick answer is to reach out to your local Axminster, because I've loaded them up with a bunch of wrenches because of that.
Yep.
So yeah, they've asked for extras to be sent, and I did. So, but you can find them in your local hardware. It's just an Allen key. We call it Allen wrench. So let me go back to the cutting or the cutters themselves. The negative rake you cannot, because there's a compound angle versus just a straight angle and an undercut. So you will really never touch that top angle by flipping it upside down and putting it on a diamond file. So you cannot resharpen negative rakes.
Right.
Raymond Wise joints.
Yeah, and also is Mark at Turnigan Krafts and Charlie from CET and Woodwork Intermediates joined us as well. And there was a question from Christopher. What was the little gadget? This is from Steve, I think. The little gadget he used to mark the bottom. Well, I think that was a ruler and a pencil. That's Chris.
That was this.
Right. I didn't see that because I was reading. That's made by a company called
Chuck Buddy.
The Buddy range, skkrafts.
Not yet. It's in testing.
It is made when it's been tested. It'll be on the market, but obviously it's being tested in front of your eyes, so it'll be able to purchase it from skkrafts, who's turning at the moment, of course.
Cannon and mortise size.
Cannon and mortise gauge. Obviously, there will be lots of different cannon and mortise gauges out for different sizes, I expect. There we are.
Yeah, not taking away from Steve, but we have a chuck template as well that we offer. I don't have one to show on or tell you specifics about it, but we do have a chuck template set for doing tenons, so that you don't have to do any special measuring. You can just use the template to hold it up to see what size you're going to fit inside what jaw.
Right, and what chuck's that for? Is it for any?
It can be for any chuck, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Susan Gothard has joined us as well. Evening, Susan.
Hi,
Susan.
Right, so that's my rough shape.
That's good. Good. What's they called it?
Frisbee.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Martinet. Aurora Woodcrafts has just joined us.
So
Late to the party again, Maureen.
So I'm just going to quickly sand this up, flip it, sand the other side up, and then we'll start carving. The reason I'm going to sand it now is because it's going to be a bit awkward when it's a bit spiky. And I like my fingers where they are.
Best way to stop cutting your fingers is to make sure you hold the procs on with two hands.
Maybe I missed it, but Steve, what's the wood?
It's a piece of ash.
Ash, okay.
It is.
Christopher says he wants the first one, Steve.
Okay, mate.
Well, Steve's got the first one, Christopher, because he's using it at the moment. But
as soon as they are ready, I will be announcing them. That one's for the SC3 and SC4, SC2 chuck. But I will be doing them for other chucks. I'm just need to get the sizes.
There are hundreds of chucks and jaws on the market, isn't there?
Yeah.
It is a minefield, actually. You go and you think about it. It's a minefield looking for,
Yeah. I thought carbide tip wood turning tools were a minefield, but chucks are pretty.
Chucks and jaws. Chucks, jaws, threads of the jaws.
Yeah, forget about the jaws.
A good quality, if we could find somebody to manufacture a good quality chuck at a reasonable price,
Yeah.
That would be.
Well, Axminster do a magic chuck. I've got 3 of them.
Yeah, they do, but it's not really a reasonable price, I would say.
Well, depends on what you pay for
Well,
solid stainless steel, innit? You know. I've had one since 1989, and it's still going strong. Not many chucks can say that.
Terry, have you tried or have you seen our Easy Chuck?
Well, I actually, it's the one you pop the thing in and the jaws pop out.
Correct.
Yeah, I have seen that one. I
haven't seen it physically.
I decided not to play with it because it was so blinking good that I would have bought one, but it was amazing. And I thought, I've got to have one of those. But then, of course, I've got to have a set of jaws as well.
Yeah.
So,
how many jaws do they do for it, Doug?
I'm sorry?
How many jaws do they do?
I believe we have 8 or 9 altogether. We go down from a 1/2 inch all the way up to 20 inch cold jaws. So yeah, so we've got it covered pretty much like everyone else. We've got and every one of them acts the same. You just pop it in. You got the quick snap lock technology. You just pop it out. You can change jaws in 30 seconds or less. So that the beauty of our chuck too is, if you can catch people early, they don't have to buy 3 and 4 chucks because most people don't want to take the jaws off. So they just mount their chucks.
I've got 4 chucks.
I've 6 of them.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I still changed the blinking jaws because I got like 8 sets of jaws.
Yeah. So that's why ours is unique in its fashion, that it's just one body and all you need to do is get the jaws and you're changing them out so quickly. Not that everybody's in a hurry, but it's just not losing the set screws down and the turnings and
actually changing the jaws is a lot quicker that way than changing the chuck. This time you undo it and put it back on the board and then take that one off and put it back on.
Yeah, exactly.
Click, 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 click. Job done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have to go in a certain way, or are they all just?
No, they're not sequential. They can go in any order. You can do it, with your eyes closed if you wanted to. You can just pop them all in or pop them all out.
You and me might have to have a talk then.
I'll see how heavy my bag is when I come over there.
Yeah, a chuck and a set of jaws. Yeah.
What do you mean a chuck and a set of jaws? You mean a chuck and 8 jaws?
That's what I mean. A chuck and a set of jaws.
That's better.
Yeah.
I could look into that actually. Because
Yep. So what I tell people, they already, when they come up, they say, "Well, I already have 3 or 4 chucks," and I said, "Well, that's what eBay's for. You get rid of them on eBay, take that money and put it towards your Easy Chuck."
Don't give away all the secrets. That's what I was thinking.
Axminster might be upset then with me because I'll have 4 Axminster chucks to sell.
Yeah. So do you guys have an equivalent to eBay over there, or is it called eBay?
Oh, it's eBay. Yeah, eBay, we got British eBay. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Do you? Okay. All right.
Same thing.
They'll be happy.
And we can, it does come up sometimes. This article is supplied from the US or China or Germany or wherever. So yeah, we do. I bought some. Must admit, I bought a camera once from eBay. It was brand new, but it was a Sony camera, top of the range camera, and it was like £400 cheaper than the 2,500 that it was costing in England. Okay. I thought, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to order it because it comes from Hong Kong, so I'll order it, and then I'll have to pay, the import charges be the same price. Right. But I wanted the camera anyway, so I said to my wife, "That's all right." And they said you can follow it. They gave me a tracking number, and I bought it, and I followed it from Hong Kong to England on a plane, come back over, down to my house, 2 days with here. And on the side of the box, it said, gift, no charges. So I got it for £400 cheaper than I should have had, which was pretty pleasing.
Yeah.
So, I had that for about 15 years, that camera. And then I upgraded to, Nikon and other things. Pretty good.
Are EasyWood chucks available through Axminster or not?
They are not. They do not have exclusivity on our chucks, and we sell them on Amazon.
All right. Okay.
So, yeah. Axminster has their own line, and
yeah, I thought so. Right.
Yeah, decided to stick with theirs. So, but yeah, Amazon, you can find them there, and a few retailers.
Ken is just looking it up for you.
I might look into that then. John Scarborough's joined us. Good evening, John.
Oh, John.
Like to thank Susan Gothard for her compliment of her Easy Wood tools. Thank you very much. Glad you like them.
Set 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
A holding set 2 and a parting tool. Well done. And then Rob from Copperell just turned. He just said he did not like deep hollowing, so he got a Pro 1 hollower. Works awesome. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Steve, I think you had one of those, don't you? The #1 hollower.
Yeah, I do. It's really
The Pro series.
Yeah,
Pro side.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
No, I haven't got one. Don't have a Pro hollower yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I have the other one came. I forget what it's called now. But it came with the beading tool. The tool I bought the beading tool.
Oh, you bought the cutter?
And the cutter comes with it. You get the little square cutter with it. So I have that one.
Where'd you get that from?
Sorry.
I bought that from the carpentry store in Dublin.
Oh yeah. No.
He lives in a different country than us. Although it's the UK, so Great Britain, but he still lives.
Yeah. Noel and Faye. Yeah, we love them.
Yeah, he's a decent fellow, no.
Yeah.
Martin from Aurora Woodwork says he works for the Customs and Excise. Just thought I'd mention it. Don't really matter, Martin, because you don't really know who I am. Well, you know me as Terry. And I bought it about 30 years ago. So try and find the receipt, buddy.
Yeah, did you keep the receipt? Yeah, you're going to be in trouble. Yeah.
Right. A question from Raymond Mize. Think I will chuck in my chucks away before I buy too many chucks. Think I will chucking my chucks away before I buy too many chucks. Yeah. Actually, it's quite. I mean, it's a solid idea, really. If you're going to buy 4 chucks, with 6 sets of jaws, the ones you don't use, the ones you won't use every time, so you can store the jaws and only occasionally. 4 chucks is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Even if you buy the cheap ones, which are £150, that's quite expensive.
Yeah, and that's why I say we try to catch them early before. Well, you can't catch them all, but you try to catch them early when they're getting into wood turning. It's like, look, I know you're going to say you're only going to use 1 chuck, but you're going to do what everybody else does down the road. You're going to buy a second, a third, a fourth one. So if you just have the one, obviously that's all you need, and it's just that quick to change them out. But yeah, everything from 1/2 inch up to 20-inch cold jaws.
I've just popped in the link for the Easy Wood Chuck on Amazon. If anybody's interested in having a look on Amazon or the price, etc.
Is that in England, Amazon, or?
That's UK. Amazon.co.uk.
Yeah, you should be able to find them on .co.uk. You can also find them on Amazon.de. I mean, ITES. We've got them in all the Amazon stores in the EU. Most of them, not all. But yeah.
Right. Let's get this carved.
William Kenny says, would it be correct in saying that the carpentry store in Ireland, Dublin, stocks the Easy Wood chucks? He lives in Dublin or near it.
Yeah, you'll want to check with them for availability. I know they are our highest priced product, so people try to watch their inventory. So just check with them to see if they have them in stock. They should, but I don't want to speak for them either. But yeah, they are a retailer of ours over there for sure.
Well, the current price on Amazon is £438.99. Is
that all?
Yeah.
That's for the chuck body and that's M33 one I looked at, because that's what most of us have.
Yeah, it comes with a set of jaws, and then you can.
And it comes with a set of 2-inch jaws. Is that? I think it's a set of 2-inch jaws. Looks like it.
I think it's 2 3/8.
It's close to 2 inch will be fine.
Yeah, close enough. But yes, and then you can obviously buy the jaws separately.
I don't think the jaws are all that. Jaws are not all that expensive, well.
No, they're in line with others, so
Yeah.
it's not too pricey, but you're just gonna love it. I mean, I'm not biased or anything.
No,
No,
I've seen him working,
absolutely
and
not.
I thought, well, yeah.
But
Like
yeah,
I say, I'll have a word after.
I've actually been
John-
having a little bit of trouble with a manufacturer's chuck who will remain nameless again because I don't like the rubbish other people's
No.
equipment.
Yeah.
But I've been having a serious bit of trouble with it, and I'm seriously thinking about changing my chuck system. So.
Yeah.
John Scarborough's asking Steve, are you going to colour this piece?
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah.
And Charlie's asking, Steve, are you going to stock these tools?
What tools?
What tools,
Easy wood
Charlie?
tools.
Easy wood tools?
I think it's not easy wood tools.
No, I can't because Axminster already
No,
have.
Axminster is the site is the
Exclusive,
outlet for those.
exclusivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
They have an
exclusivity.
exclusive deal, don't they?
I'm sorry.
The Axminster have an exclusive deal with you guys. Don't
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's business. And Woodwork Learner wants to know which disc are you using, Steve, to cut?
I'm using the Arbortech, the original Arbortech blade.
That was a question
Is that
I was going to ask, Doug. Do you think guys make that kind of cutter? It's like a little
Steve
cutter
got
for
now,
these with carbide tips on.
We could, but we stay away from things that are Me Too, and I'm not saying that's a Me Too, but it would take some automated processes for brazing those tips on. So again,
Okay.
volume would have to speak volume. So
Yeah, well, it'd be very
In order to
expensive just to do a few off, wouldn't it? You'd have to
yeah,
make
you'd have to
thousands.
induction heat those so that you can, braze the carbide units on there. It's just, again, a large investment for a small pocket of cutters.
Yeah.
But we like to say we could pretty much make anything out of carbide at Total Engineered Products, because that's where we're making all of the tips for our easy wood tools. So that's pretty much anything that's fabricated, that's ground, polished, can be affixed to steel through brazing. But again, you got to pick your niche, I guess. There's a lot of folks that make those already, like the ones Arbortech uses.
Yep. There are.
I use the Arbortech, the twin-bladed one. They do a three-bladed one now as well with carbide tips on, and it's an animal. It's basically,
It's a beast of the thing, yeah.
but it also leaves a real pure cut. There's no fluffy edges or anything. It is good. Must admit, but it's not cheap. It's 70, 80 pound or whatever, or more.
Oh, excuse me.
Probably more now.
Do they last a while? I mean, I've not.
Yeah, they
used
do.
one.
Yeah, they last a long time.
Okay.
Axminster, I got them from Axminster. They're the outlet for them. So that's where what bought it.
Okay.
Oh, look, Terry, there's only 2 left in stock.
Well, probably one now because you're going to buy one, aren't you? It's hell of a bit of kit, I tell you. In fact, I tell you what, on my Sunday live, I'll demonstrate it. They are. Get it out.
You haven't got one yet.
What? The Arbortech
I'm talking
cutter.
about the chuck, Terry.
Sorry.
Terry.
Oh no, I thought you meant the cutter. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah.
The cutter we were talking about.
Ah, dear.
Oh no, I got something special for this Sunday's live. Piece of kit as well that
Something
I've
special.
made. Yeah, a bit of kit I made. Blow your mind, it will. Brian will immediately want to buy one. And what he's like. Wow.
Steve, are you muted, or is it that quiet, that Arbortech?
It's his microphone just kills
Yeah,
the
he's
sound.
got.
He's
He's probably.
It's not very loud.
No.
Probably
Okay.
can't hear us because it's so loud for him.
Yeah.
Noise cancelling on these Jabra headsets have got supreme
Voice
noise
cancelling,
cancelling.
Noise canceling. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Well, Andy
Your
Lerner, Woodward Lerner says he's got 4 chucks for less than the price, but if I'd started again, it would be a better system. He'd take up less space too. That's true.
Yeah, that's another
Say
thing
if-
that folks need to consider is time and space. We don't have time for turning, and nor do we have a lot of space for turning our
Exactly.
for our equipment. So it's just not having to mount 4 chucks. You got one that you keep in underneath your lathe, or actually it'll be on the lathe most all
On
the
the
time.
lathe, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
so
bit disappointing.
space is another consideration. So another thing to think of when you're loading up. Do you need 4 chucks, or can you get away with 1? So
To be honest, you could probably always get away with 1 with a few sets of jaws. Click,
Yeah.
click, click, you know.
Yep. So, and that goes for a lot of things with Easy Wood tools. I mean, we don't need the sharpening apparatuses that high-speed steel, and I'm not downplaying high-speed steel. It's got its place like everything else.
Mhm.
But with Easy Wood tools, you don't have to have a grinder, a jig. Don't have to have the CBN wheels for resharpening. Just again, that's things that take up space in a small space that you probably start with. Just need a lathe and 3 tools and some work pieces. So again, that's another thing to consider when you're looking at
I
getting
could end up
into
with another 64 square feet in my workshop. 3
Wouldn't that be
sharpening
nice?
systems I got.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
That's going to fall a bit soon, Steve. Oh, look at that. Those little ones there.
Hope he doesn't turn the lathe back on. Shrapnel.
Faint-hearted.
Wow.
1 more on that side, and I think that'll do.
Oh, God. Some of those bits are ready to go, so be careful.
Did you hear Nigel Harvey's comment there about the price being cheaper than the price of his 4 chucks?
Yeah, see that. But then, you know, I've got, I did buy, I won't name the manufacturer, but actually I won one as well.
It's not
I
like
won a
you.
chuck in a draw. I'll never win anything, but I actually won a chuck in a draw. The whole kit. And it was £100-something worth of kit. And, you know, it's first prize, and I got it. And I put it on the lathe, used it for 10 minutes, and took it off the lathe, put it back in the box, and sold it. Simple as that. It wasn't good enough.
Oh my.
It just wasn't stable enough. It wasn't true enough. You know.
Yeah.
And you
We
do get
have
what you pay for.
we have 4 different thread sizes for the chuck too. We have 1 inch, 8 TPI. We've got 1 1/4 inch, 8 TPI. And then we've got the M30 and M33
Right.
thread for the chuck body.
That's what I used. M33.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. What was I doing there?
Oh no!
Told you.
Oh, you didn't
Oh,
go
you
all the way
cut it
through,
off.
did you?
I didn't go all the way through. It broke off. Super
Oh,
glue.
you broke a
He cut it off.
bit. He cut off.
Snicker glue.
What was I trying to do there? Oh, I know what I'm trying to do.
The jigsaw. Either that, or you got to cut every 3 inches. Cut another one out. Make
No,
it the
I'm
same.
going to glue it back on.
Like a universal.
Actually, you could turn that off, all that rot, and you'd have a small disc. Then when you can carve that.
No, going to glue it back on. Have a little faith.
Oh.
So I know earlier before everybody came on, there was a question about does Easy Wood Tools have anything coming out new?
Mm-hmm.
My reply back was we always have something that we're working on, but the question that I'm asked, or when I'm asking, is when I'm at some of the trade shows, when folks come up and start talking to you, we ask some of the same questions too. It's like, well, what is it you need? What's needed out there? What's different that is out there that you like, or is there something that's just flat out not available that you would like to see somebody make? So I guess I'm posing that question right now is if anybody has any ideas, let us know, and we'll see what we might be able to do for it. Again, we don't want to make another Me Too product. We'd like to make it either unique or better than what's available now. So we're always looking for ideas and things that are needed.
Roger Kent says, are the Easy Woodchucks direct thread or do they use an insert?
You can use an adapter if you needed to, but they will already have it in the chuck body, the threads. So if your lathe has a 1 inch, we have an adapter that'll make it 1 1/4 or vice versa. If it's 1 1/4, it'll neck it down to 1 inch. But the chuck body is not inserted. It is threaded in the chuck body itself.
So once you buy it for your lathe, if you change the lathe, you could possibly get an insert to go to your new lathe if it was different.
Yeah, you can get it's an adapter. Yeah, they're available on Amazon as well.
Yeah, because you'd obviously buy the chuck you'd need for your particular lathe. But if you then upgraded your lathe to a different
bigger one with 1 1/4, you can now make it where your 1 inch will fit on 1 1/4.
Okay.
Or vice versa, 1 1/4 down to a 1 inch if you needed to.
Robert Broadway says, can you get as good a finish with a carbide as rubbing the bevel with high-speed steel?
So, again, I'm not biased or anything, but yes, I believe you can, because the thing that we tell folks when they're using their tools is run it as high as RPM as you're comfortable with. So obviously the higher RPMs, that just means you're getting that much more surface feet across with a single pass or a final pass. We can also tell you that the negative rakes leave even a better finish than our standard cutter. So if for some reason you're working with a real grainy wood and you can't, or an end grain that you can't get a good finish on with a standard cutter, flip it over. I shouldn't say flip it over. Switch over to a negative rake carbide cutter and make your final pass with that. It does leave an excellent finish and is really good for end grain work, because that's where people fight that finish, is on end grain or just real porous wood.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe so, yes.
Stephen Gordon, even Stephen, says, could you make a coring system? Because some people use the one-way system, but change the cutter to a hunter cutter. Your carbide may be a lot better.
Yeah, that question has been asked of us before. So it's not one that we've said no to, but we don't have anything at this point right now. Stephen, I appreciate your comment, because we've heard the same thing. And again, we think we excel on the carbide end of it, and we feel we would have a really good cutter for the coring system. But we're not there yet. So hang tight.
Oh, no, you never know. Watch this space, Doug. Watch this space, eh?
Yeah.
Very good.
Be careful what I say, because Chris is probably like, I got to go to work on that now.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Let's put Chris under a bit of pressure.
It's another 2 years.
Being salesmen, they're always saying things they can't deliver. But no,
that's what salesmen are supposed to do.
You'll go in Monday and say we need a bigger whiteboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to need a bigger whiteboard, right?
When I was working, I used to have my own business. A couple of guys working for me, and somebody would say to me, you go to the job and they say, "Can you do this?" I say, "Yeah." "Can you do that?" I say, "Yeah." "Can you do that?" I say, "Yeah." I say, "I can do anything." This housing projects. "Can you do this?" I say, "Yeah, do anything." And then they'd say, "Okay, I want that. And then, okay, so you go away. I say, I go away and price it up, and I'll think to myself, "Christ, how did you do that?" Now, I gotta learn how to do that next. I got this. But I never refused anything. I can do anything.
You never want to say no, right?
Never say no. I can just do it. If not, I'll learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Spirit and Bear have just joined us. Good evening, Kez and our Phil.
Kez. Hello, Philippe.
Yeah.
Let's just dry that off.
So just to let people know that came in late, we have Doug from Easy Wood Tools with us tonight, talking about his company. And if you have any questions, please ask.
Easy Wood Tool products. The man himself is here, so if you want to know,
not just the tools, we've got chucks and maybe other things as well.
Yorkshire grit. We'll answer questions about Yorkshire grit as well. So we're more than happy to.
The original Yorkshire grit.
The original. Thanks, Steve.
Made with the same
real Yorkshire grit.
It's the same formula as always has been from day one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not day one. Day 6 months, I think it was, because it took him 6 months to get,
It took him a while to get it right. Yeah.
the precise to what he wanted.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he's slow, isn't he? He's slow.
Mr. G's in, even Mr. G.
Hi, Mr. G.
Michael
So
McEwen's there.
McEwen's on there.
Yeah,
Mr.
Michael
Mike.
McEwen's there.
Andy
Yeah, Michael.
Landler says, ouch, I've just seen the price, Brian. He's looked at the chuck.
Oh, well.
Never mind, Andy. It's only money. You can only spend
Yeah, it's
it
only money,
once.
mate. You
Just
can't take it
spend
with you.
Buy it.
There's
Go for
no,
it.
there's no point being
There's
rich.
one left on Amazon now. Buy
No,
it. Go for
Can't
it.
take it with you. You can't take it with you.
Can't take it with
No
you.
point being the richest man in the graveyard.
No, that's right. And there's no pockets in shrouds.
Yeah.
My wife says there's no pockets in shrouds. We'll have that. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And when you get to my age, that's less than half my month's pension. So I'm happy
Oh,
with
don't
that.
rub it in, Brian. There'll be a lot of people now crying in the chat, sitting there, howling. I'm still working.
Yeah.
That's a bit bad luck you're having. I was still working for a long, long time too.
Yeah, so was I.
I'm not anymore, so excuse me if I just rub it in a bit.
I think I was 68 when I packed up, and that's only because I had the 3 art stints and I was told to pack up. I wouldn't have else.
Yeah,
Still be going now.
I was 55 when I retired from paid employment.
Oh, I was 50. Paid
55.
employment. Then I went self-employed.
Retired. Started my own
Oh,
business, and nothing to do with building or anything. It was all about horsemanship. It's a whole different thing.
I'll end up in a landfill.
Quite possibly, Andy. I'll probably be next to you, son.
That's a good one.
No matter where you end up, Andy, you won't have any money in your pockets when you go, so don't worry.
Definitely not. Right, let's just dry this off.
AGK says it's money well spent. I'm about to find out.
Yeah.
Shane Hurst is in. Good evening, Shane.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's well. Who's going to make a central the weekend?
Not me.
Easywood Tools will be there, represented by Axminster, but I will not be there this year.
Ah,
We've gone a couple of years. I think we went before the pandemic and once after the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, but Easywood Tools will be demonstrated there. They will have display pieces or tools out. So yeah, you can swing by the Axminster booth to see the tools themselves.
So Shane Hurst says,
Yeah.
Hi, Doug. Easyword Tools. Really enjoyed talking to you guys at the AAW in Chattanooga, and really enjoyed Easyword Tools when I got them.
Thanks, Shane. Appreciate it very much. And thanks for coming by to see us.
Andy AGK Woodwork says, make sure you get all the jaws, Brian. You just buy a chuck.
that'll be a work in progress, I think, Andy.
You just buy the chuck.
I did, yeah.
You're a tool.
Yeah.
I did.
You know it's
Not
not
much
going
talk about it. I thought
You
I'd
know,
try it.
you know it's not going to improve your
Cabinets.
turning, don't you?
My turning's almost mediocre.
Don't forget, Brian is a professional, Stephen.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the register anyway.
On the register of professional turners. You're quite right. I am indeed.
So he must have done something right,
I did.
or paid the right amount somewhere.
Yeah.
No, good on you,
No
mate.
cash changed hands.
You worked
Yeah,
hard for that. I know you did, 'cause
apart from the fees.
I was there half the time helping you work.
You were, yeah.
It's a shame to
So
send a lot.
what's the next plan there, Steve? What are we going to do now? You painting it black?
I'm going to spray this side black, then I'm going to flip it, spray the other side, then I'm going to sand it all off. Just leave
Right.
it in the nooks and crannies.
Mm-hmm.
crannies and nooks.
And then I haven't thought no further than that, really.
Actually, it's looking quite nice now.
Did Woodwork Learners just put in there? Brian, you didn't even ask for a discount code. No.
Roger Kent says, will Easyword be at SWAT this year?
We will be represented by one of our retailers, but I will be there personally myself. So yes, we will have tools for sale. We will have a demonstrator there all 3 days, and myself will be there as well.
Right.
So SWAT is fast becoming, and has been over the years, rivaling AAW's national show that they have as far as size-wise. So it's a great show. It's great attendance. It's free to the public to walk through. They do have quite a few vendors that are in the main building, but then they've now spilled out into the hallways and other rooms. So it's just growing very fast. And unfortunately, they hold it in Texas in August when it's about 140 degrees out. So it's the only downside is it's not the most friendly when it comes to temperatures.
Not comfortable now.
And where is the AAW held and when?
This year it's going to be in Portland, Oregon.
All right.
So it's out on the West Coast. It's as far west and northwest as you can get.
Yeah, it's just right in the top corner,
Right.
isn't it?
Oh, blimey.
Yeah.
Next step's Alaska.
Yeah, it's almost there. We're almost there. Yeah.
So it could be cold.
Yeah. So Mike McEwen, you'll
Probably
be real
will be
close to
cold,
that.
yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Mike lives up in Canada there, so
Mm-hmm.
not sure if he's going to that or not. Maybe he'll answer. But yeah, we'll be represented there as well with Niles Bottle Stop. Carl Jacobson will have his booth, but he'll also be selling our tools at the AAW in Portland.
Yeah.
So.
Mm.
Take
So I'll tell my missus we're going to America for a year. We go all these shows. And I know what she'd say. Book the tickets.
Ian,
That's the trouble. Ruth would just say, book the tickets.
Ian Tivering's asking, are you a wood turner, Doug?
Wood turner? Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, I do. I have again, time and space.
Yeah.
I don't have a big space for a lathe, so I got a small lathe. But yeah, I do quite a bit of Christmas time. I'll do a lot of pens and ice cream scoops, pizza cutters, do a few bowls here and there. But, I don't get into I love the segmented work. I mean, I wished I had the patience and space to make the segmented bowls.
Yeah.
I love that stuff, but I just dabble in, the stuff that gets me by at Christmas time.
I think the old segmented bit is, I like it. And of course, when it's all glued up and you're turning it, you're not turning any end grain at all. So it's very easy to turn. But it's working out, working out all the different angles and what you're going to make. And the time, it's hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
I don't have that much time. So
I don't have that much patience.
Patience too, Terry. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that, obviously there's a lot of people that do it, but patience has got to come into play too there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a chap in my village, just on the road. He goes to our wood turning club, and he, competition time, he brings up a segmented piece, and it's beautiful. And I think I said to him, Charlie, how long it take you? Oh, I don't know. He said, he's in his 80s. He said, I'll just stay up all day and all night, all day and all night. And every 3 weeks he produces one, like he gets about 200 hours.
Yeah.
But it's working out all the angles to get for a vase or a bowl or, whatever.
And there's plenty of instructions out there, Terry. There's loads of instructions.
Yeah, but you don't, I don't like to try not to copy everybody.
Everything's divided by 360 degrees, so it's 10 segments.
Yeah, that's
36.
true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
So
you got to get everything right on a planer as well.
I chop mine on a chop saw.
Matthew Lawrence.
Steve says I'm not allowed that many Sundays off to go on America.
Yeah, you're not allowed a year in
You'd stand in for
America.
me, Steve, wouldn't you? You stand in for me.
No.
Matthew Lawrence has just joined us. Evening, Matthew.
I just said
Matthew?
that there.
What did you? Sorry. Yeah, so it's
As you were talking instead of listening.
Yeah.
yeah, but Rafe would just say, just book the tickets and we'd be gone. That'd be it. That's the trouble.
I see somebody mentioned Harrogate. Any word on what the show's looking like this year? I mean, I know people talk.
It's going to be full.
Just wondering how it's gonna pan out this year. Will it be better than last year, or is it going to be down?
It's been getting better each year, Doug. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
probably going to be on a par or better than last year.
Good. I love to hear that.
Mhm.
Love to hear that. So okay.
I went to Daventry show, which was last weekend gone, and that
Yeah.
is just a small. Say small. It's like a quarter of Harrogate size, but it's all wood turning and wood turning clubs there as well as demonstrators, and it was absolutely brilliant this year, and it was ram packed. One of the afternoons you can move there. It was really nice, and I thought it was a brilliant show, but it was so small. I mean, I was there as I was manning the AWGB store, so I was just sitting there
Okay.
in our stall.
So they had
But it
vendors too, Terry?
Yeah, they have. I don't think it was Axminster. No, Axminster didn't go this year for some reason. I don't know why. But the Simon Oak Tours was there, and there was a lot of others. All the usual culprits, victims, or whatever you call them. They were there, and yeah, I mean, it was just buzzing. It was brilliant. And I think there was 12 wood turning clubs all represented.
Yeah.
So it was really good. Yeah. And it was 2.5 hour drive for me, but that's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Only round the corner. 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Well, Arrogate's at least that for me, maybe more.
Talking to a man there who lives in Texas. You can't drive
Oh,
from
yeah,
one side
but,
to another.
yeah, but trouble is, they just get on a plane.
We have
I'll
to,
see you
too.
in Oregon, and he's on a plane, and an hour later he's there, right? Type of thing.
You're whinging about driving 2.5 hours. God.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you drive, I've driven the American roads. You drive on it, and then you just drive as fast as not as fast as you like, but you just drive on them, and you just keep going. You get on our roads, and you're winding through all the bloody things, and
Right.
you can never.
And they're narrow. They're a lot narrower.
Yeah,
than
terrible.
Yeah.
Full of lorries. You end up going like 30 mile an hour. Rubbish.
The roads are not terrible, Terry. I can't believe you said that.
But you try driving around the one of the biggest motorways, M25. Yeah, it's like a car park.
Yeah.
Just 4 lanes of just a car park.
That's why I don't live anywhere near London, Terry.
Yeah. Well, it's just about where I live, all the way up here. Oh yeah. Peter the Parkwood Turner's just joined us. Evening, Peter.
Peter says, don't forget the free entry and parking. This is true, Peter.
Oh yes, there is free entry and parking at Daventry as well.
Daventry. Yeah.
Oh, the one you just went to. Okay.
Was that in a school hall, Terry? Were you in a school hall or a gymnasium?
No.
Is it not the Tudor Rose? It's Tudor Rose's club, isn't it?
Yeah, Tudor Rose. What's the name? Organise it. Yeah, no, it was in. It's in a what's the name centre?
Leisure centre.
Leisure centre. Yeah.
Ah, yeah. I thought you were in a gymnasium when I seen the photo.
Yeah. Well, there's a gymnasium right next door because it's the leisure centre. They got, sports place next door.
I get it.
But yeah, it's massive. Oh, it's big. Anyway, good. I loved it. Oh, it's a lovely little show. You say little, you can still get whatever you want there.
Terry, did you get to talk to people?
I did.
That's why you loved it.
Yeah. I must have spoken to about 200 people.
Yeah, everybody.
200. Everybody.
He was at the door. He was at the door.
I've just got cramp in my leg. Oh, God.
Funny you should say that, Steve. I was at the door talking to the guy that was on the door, giving out leaflets and things.
Yeah.
Pointing them towards the draw prize stand. And then I started talking to people, and I was talking to them about an hour. My mate Colin was with me, and he said, "You going to come back or what?"
Maybe.
So was that one well attended too, or getting better?
Yeah, that was. I mean, it wasn't so big as Harrogate and wasn't as big as Newark, but it was still well attended, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It tailed off a bit like the Saturday afternoon is Friday and Saturday, 2 days.
Oh, okay,
It
yeah.
tailed off a little bit about 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, but yeah, I mean, Saturday morning was just, you can move, you know, it was buzzing. I like that, you know.
Yeah, yep, okay.
All right, just sand that back quickly.
We try to attend as many shows as we can, the AWGB, because it's a charity, and we just go out there and attend, and you know, that's our remit.
Sure. Okay.
And there's regional reps, and the reps usually run it, but this year the rep had to give up because of health reasons, and we hadn't got another rep. Well, he just joined us. The new rep joined us the day before the show, so we couldn't really say to him, "There's all the," because we take a gallery with us at the seminar in October. There will be, everybody that attends can bring 3 pieces to put in the gallery, and if their pieces are, you know, to sell as well, they can put a price on them. And then the professional turners that are demonstrating all weekend at the end judge them all, and we pick 26 different winners, or not winners, but the ones they like the best.
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
And they go in a gallery, and the gallery's then divided in half. Half goes to the north of the country, the other half go to the south of the country. And every time we attend an event, we take the half gallery with us, and it's on show then for people to see what you know. And then halfway through the year, we switch the galleries around, so the south goes north, north goes south. You know.
Yeah.
And then that goes around the shows as well for 2 years, and then of course every 2 years we have a seminar and it changes.
What's Brian fell off his chair a second?
No, he's got cramp in his leg, I think.
Has he?
Yeah.
So
Talking too much. Probably got his jaw.
Sorry. Since you're involved with AWGB, what do you guys do to get new turners? What is it that how do you find new turners?
Well, I mean, in fact, 5 people joined at the Daventry show, and it's only a tiny little show.
Okay.
We had fun. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's a charity, so you know we rely on membership, obviously.
Right.
But the charity puts on free training to all members if they apply for it.
Yeah.
If they want a course on something. You just say they, for instance, want a basic course. You know, they've never turned before. Just joined today. Need a basic course. They go to a club maybe, and somebody would teach them there, or they'd have a professional lesson of a professional. You know, and they go there for a day. The AWGB run a basic course. Professionals run it. We don't run it. You know, it's done through. We are the agents for them, and then you apply for it. And if you're lucky enough to get your name on the list, of course, in your area, when it comes up, you'll be emailed and then put on that day course, or put on another day course, or thread chasing course, or woodturning course, you know. So that's the way we sort of give the membership money back, because not everybody wants to go on one, you know.
Right.
And yeah, it's we also run tutor assessment courses, so there's an online course. You do the online course. It usually lasts 2 to 3 hours, but you can always go back to it, so you can do it over a week or 2. If you're in a club, or not even if you're not in a club, but you want to be a woodturning tutor and you think you're okay, good enough for it. It's only a basic course that you can teach safe woodturning to new people. Right. You do the course. Once you've done the course, you apply via the training section of the website. Apply for an assessment, and then somebody like me will assess you, and you'll get a badge like Steve's wearing. If you pass the assessment, you become a tutor. Then you can go to your club and say, "Look, I can now teach people safe, basic woodturning."
Yeah, sure.
So it's, you know,
worth a treat.
And that in itself then lends the fact that the clubs can say, "Look, come and join our club. We got 4 tutors in our club. You know, we'll teach you basic woodturning because we can. You know." So yeah, it's quite good.
Okay.
And to give a look.
I mean, we have the same I don't want to call it issue or problem here, but we're looking for the next generation of turners. I mean, I know, you know, the baby boomers are a big size of our customer base now, but we're always looking for how do we get the younger generations into wood turning. So, you know, obviously, you know, one of the questions was, you know, what was the inspiration behind Easy Wood Tools way back when? Well, it was to make it easy to enter into this hobby because it's safer. Not a lot of equipment's needed. So we're looking, you know, again, how do we keep those new ones coming in?
Yeah. Well, young people, you know, say young people, any person really, like Steve Gordon just reminded me, they can apply for bursaries. Their clubs can apply for loans of a lathe. They can't afford a lathe, but they want to do it. But you know, or their father says, "My son wants to do it. Can we borrow a lathe for a while?" So the AWG will loan them a lathe until they're, you know, they can afford one of their own, and then they give it back.
Yeah.
Also, the Worshipful Company of Turners are doing a youth, you know, young people.
Yeah.
The youth training program.
In which we're involved. The AWGB is involved as well. You know, we're supporting them and injecting some money into them, I think. Yeah. So yeah, that's, you know, that's up and coming, and hopefully we'll get people of 18, 16, 17, 18, you know, whatever. Because
so all
of us are going to.
That's what you need.
Sorry,
say again.
Do the educational systems over there offer woodworking, wood turning, anything?
No, they used to. I mean, when
I was at school, they're starting to come back to it a little bit more.
That's what they're nervous as anything with insurance and health and safety and all the rest of it. But when I started, of course, I learned at school. I had a graduate lathe there, and I spent most of my days in the wood turning shop. So, you know, even when I was supposed to be at other lessons, I was still in the wood turning shop or woodworking shop. You know, that's what got me the bug. So, but they've took them all out of schools now, and you know, it's silly, really.
Yeah, there's very few left in schools.
Yeah.
Alan Gibbs saying, does Easy Wood do a lot of wood turning events where you are from and demonstrations?
Yeah, we have a network of demonstrators throughout the U.S. We're actually looking for more throughout the world. We've kind of teamed up with Chris Parker over in the UK to help do some demonstrations. So we're getting more and more involved in the in-store or in-event demonstrations because we feel that's important too, to be in front of the newbie, the customer, the ones that don't even know they want to turn yet, to take a look and see how easy it is. So we do, I think this year alone, we've already got about 60 lined up. It's either with our demonstrators or, as I mentioned earlier to you guys, Chris and Christy were at a in-store grand opening event. So, and I do it as well. I'll go to a store and do live event or live demonstrations. So yes, we're doing more and more, and we're going to do as many as they'll allow us to do. And again, the demonstrators, we ask once they're on board for them to be proactive and go find clubs or stores or events that are going on to where can we come in and turn. So yeah, we do a lot of those. We'd like to do twice as many as we did the year before, but it's always coming down to where are they at, who's having them, how many days are they, and then do we have a demonstrator in the area? So yes, we would love to do more. So if anybody out there listening has something that they would like to propose, we'd be happy to send a demonstrator in to your club or to a retailer store that would be happy to have a demonstrator come in.
Yeah. I think that's the way forward, to be honest, because it's all very well, all the advertising and, you know, telling people about it, trying to convert people from what they're used to telling them about it. It's easy to just say, come along, we'll show you how it's done. You can have a go. That's what actually makes the business, you know, people know about it, you know what I mean? Because even if they don't buy it themselves. They tell their mates that they saw it at this turning
Yeah.
club or that turning club or that show, you know, and it progresses out of there, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's,
Yeah. So we always say they try it, they buy it, because it is easy to get into it when you're first learning
exactly.
to use the carbide. And again, there's a place for both high-speed steel and carbide, and some people gravitate to the high speeds after they've learned how to use their carbide tools. When we first started, when the company first started, it was the other way. We were converting them from high speed to carbide. So
Yeah.
again,
they were throwing the high-speed steel away, weren't they? Yeah, bloody thing is
we'd like them
Bowie,
to, you know, we'd like
Like-
them to, but yeah, there's a
Glenn-
place for both.
Glenn, the Yorkshire get, he I think he said he had 5 or 6 skew chisels stuck in the wall of his workshop on the other end. When he was learning to use it, he said, roll down the end in the workshop.
Some of them were accidents, some were thrown.
No,
I'm
they
sure.
were, I think they were mostly thrown.
Mostly thrown, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
indeed. I like skew now. Enjoy
It's
using
lovely, yeah. You can learn to use it. It's brilliant.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Practice.
Yeah.
The thing is just not to be afraid of it. Have a go.
That's the other thing. Or any tool. Don't be afraid of any tool.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Positive.
Yeah.
Be positive with it.
The only thing you need to be afraid of is the wife.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the money you spend, or too much.
Nah. Too late now. Money spent.
It's kind of like your T-shirt, Terry.
Beg your pardon?
Like your T-shirt says, I know you buy and then you resell, don't you, or research? I can't read the bottom of your shirt now, but I saw it earlier.
Oh, right, that, yeah.
Things to do in my spare time.
It's everything, yeah.
Yeah.
And the bottom of the one says, I talk about word turning, think about word turning, dream about word turning, buy accessories for word turning, everything
Lucy-
is still there.
Lucy's arrived at our Premier Inn for the weekend.
Oh, she's at Maker Centre, isn't she?
She's
Oh,
one
well
of the
done,
makers,
Luce. You have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. Spend all your money.
Spend.
I know Andy will.
You don't have to leave home to spend money.
No,
Not
I
anymore.
just found that out with you.
Andy
So,
says he quite likes his skew. Quite right, Andy. Nice tool.
use it for opening tins, though.
Yeah. White tins of wax. Ideal for
Tins of
that.
wax. Actually, I'm going to say it again. He's pretty tight as woodwork learner, like, and he's been turning for about 3 years, and now he likes the skew. So get that learner bit tuck off and put intermediate there. That's what you are now,
And the intermediate.
and the intermediate. Simple as that.
Well, I don't think so. I see all those projects in the background there. He's not intermediate.
Robert Broadward says, Terry, like you, I started at school. Then cars and girls came along. But 40 years later, I'm starting again.
Good man, Robert.
Yeah, well, I took the girls along with me when I got Ruth, you see. She don't mind. So I've had 46 years, I think. Or is it 45? 46 years of her.
Yeah.
She don't mind it, so that's fine. And she does know exactly what everything costs. Just to let everybody know that when I die, you won't be getting it cheap.
We don't want it. We don't want the cheap, Terry.
No.
Yes, Steve, perfect. Steve Gordon says, buying that Chuck Bride gave you cramp.
I don't talk about the cramp. Don't talk about the cramp. The muscle in the back of my leg just went from normal size to the size of a golf ball.
That's the thought of opening your wallet. That's what it
That's the
was.
thought of opening the box.
Yeah.
Oh, the wallet's open. The money's
Open
gone.
the bank
It's
account, yeah.
Not worried about the money. It's a
No, but
reasonable-
seriously, Brian, you've been banging on about that other Chuck for
I know.
3 months.
Or at least
And how many, you've even bought gauges to measure it and everything to try and
yeah.
find out what's wrong with it.
I bought
like
a
we
dial
said,
index to try and
put
see if
it-
I figure
yeah.
out what was wrong with
Put
it.
it in the bin. It's not working.
No, I'm not putting it in the bin. I'm going to sell it.
We said, so some other poor bugger's going to get out of that now.
Yeah.
And think,
Oh, would
I
I
can't
would I
turn.
do such a thing?
It's
No,
all
no,
off
I
centre.
won't. I won't do that. No.
Send it back.
I'm sending it back to where it came from. Is where it's going.
But at least we won't have you nagging now because you have a nice new Chuck.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on Monday.
Yeah, they'll still be nagging.
I'll be nagging him no jaws to fit it. That's what I'll be saying.
Well, Lucy says she can't see them getting the kids to sleep at any time.
Yeah,
Keep them
soon,
up,
though.
Lucy. Keep them up
Yeah, it's
all
just,
night.
just let them
That's what
watch
you do.
us.
Yeah, let them watch us.
Keza likes us.
Actually, yeah, let them watch Steve like that. You spin that thing a bit slow.
You
Spin it a bit
You
slow.
are getting
let the kids watch
sleepy.
it.
Yeah,
That'll put
right.
them out.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Or listen to me talking and I'll put them to sleep.
Trance,
It's
Sally,
easy.
not asleep. It's trance.
Trance.
Other side going to be the same color or different? Got to be different, isn't it?
Same.
Green, blue,
Same.
fine.
Same.
William
Kenny says his is going back tomorrow.
He's having the same. He's having the same problem as me.
Yeah. And it's not a cheap chuck, Brian, was it? How much is the chucks?
No.
How much were they?
I can't remember, Terry.
I don't know, a lot of money.
I don't really pay attention to the price. I just buy them now.
No, I mean, because like, I think
But it wasn't an El Cheapo. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't a cheap chuck, was it?
No.
So yeah, you can't.
So I may have a few chucks for sale just shortly.
I might have 4 Axminster chucks. Although I probably won't sell my original. I bought $9.99, the old Super Precision. It's a beautiful chuck.
I have one of those.
I wouldn't sell that one. I wouldn't sell that. That's just
it weighs a ton.
They make their chucks in Axminster, don't they?
They do, yeah. Out of a solid piece of stainless steel. One solid piece.
Oh.
And they're measured. They're measured to a 10,000th of an inch. I think they're that good. The precision.
Yeah.
You can't knock their chucks. They are good, but they are expensive as well.
Yeah.
I've known Axminster since they opened their shop, their first shop.
Yes, Andy, it is.
Very first time they opened, I was there.
I know they had told me at one time how many years they've been around. Do you remember, Terry? How long has that been?
Yeah, I think it's 1986. 1986 was it?
86.
Yeah, I think so. Around 86.
Oh, okay. Yeah, around 40 years.
85, something like that.
Yep. Okay.
As far as I can remember, but yeah, I was. And they opened it,
Well, I mean, let's not go there, Terry. Your age is creeping up on you, and you get
nothing wrong with my age, mate. I'm 73. Simple as that. Well, bones-wise, I am. My brain isn't.
Yeah.
Axminster Tools began its life 50 years ago.
Yeah, 50 years. That's right.
Okay.
50 years. So yeah.
I just googled it.
50 years. Yeah. That's a fair old time, isn't it?
When was that article written? I better have a look at that. That maybe last year or something. I don't know. Celebrating 50 years of Axminster Tools.
They made some good decisions and they made some bad decisions. Well, bad for the woodturner, but good for them, I suppose. But
1972, Terry.
Yeah, 72 was it? Their first chuck they made. The vision to make the chuck was, whoever designed it, was that their jaws, the carriers, would always fit Axminster chucks, no matter how far they progressed. And to this day, their first chuck, all their jaws fit their first chuck as they all fit their last chuck, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Right? So it is good. However, they did, when they made the Super Precision chuck, made such a good chuck, it had a base plate on the back that if you change your lathe, you just change the plate for £20. And then you could fit another thread on it, by just unscrewing the base plate, new thread, off you go.
Gotcha.
Of course, to them that wasn't very good because obviously they didn't sell any chucks. Everybody bought one chuck and took them with them all their life, and they changed lathes. So now they make them now with individual balls in, individual screw threads.
Oh,
yeah.
Which but I've changed my lathe 3 times, I suppose. Yeah, 3 times since I've had the very first chuck, and I just bought a new base plate for each one. So back plate.
So you trade it up on the lathes, or you always keep your older ones too?
Oh no, I traded up purely because of size. The first lathe that I had was a little perform lathe that must have been about 3 foot long, twin barred, sort of, not very big, not very good. And then as the kids got older, I got more money. I bought a Poolward 2840 lathe, which was a massive, great thing, proper professional lathe.
Yeah.
I bought it just after it was new. Somebody unfortunately couldn't turn anymore. I kept that up until 3 years ago when I upgraded into the Axminster 508, the biggest one they do. But the Poolwood was 1.25 inches 8, and the Axminster was M33. So I just bought a new backplate for the 2 precision chucks I had, and then of course I got 2 SK114s as well, the bigger ones, bigger chucks.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And now I don't need to buy another lathe really, because it is the biggest Axminster to do, and it's never gonna go wrong. I can turn 36 inches if I want to, and I'm never going to do that. So it's it looks good when you got a huge 6 foot.
I was going to say a big piece of wood. That's a big.
And then you turn a little tiny finial in it,
Yeah.
A little finial. But because I moved from Devon to Lincolnshire, I didn't have a big enough workshop to take all the lathe, more lathes and things as well as the other tools. So I sold it.
Okay.
To be honest, I didn't lose any money on it either. I sold it for as much as I paid for it, and I'd had it for since 1989 till 2021.
Okay.
Although the value of the money are probably obviously £250 then, £250 now is different in value, but still the same amount.
Yeah.
I wish I'd kept it. I wish I'd had room to keep it. Can't be done.
Could have made the room down.
That would have taken anything. That turned everything. I did turn a 28-inch piece bowl once for somebody. They asked me to make them. Just never even moved.
Rimboy says lots of OAPs have started after retirement. And
They do, yeah.
Indeed.
Lots of people started with COVID. What can we do? Let's buy
That's
a
right.
dog. Then we're allowed out for a walk.
That's when I started.
Yeah. And then they said, let's buy a lathe. We need to do something. Some bought pottery machines, I expect. Potter's wheels, and had to go with that.
You did say
Others bought
pensioners.
lathes. And then when you get, what are you going to do?
He said OAPs.
Yeah. What are you going to do when you retire?
Exactly.
Okay, you get an allotment. You could start wood turning, start pottery, go for
You
walks.
could sit and stagnate at home if you wanted.
Start painting.
Benny Chaplin said he would not change his record power chucks. Oh, I have record power chucks too.
Who said that?
Benny Charlton.
Right. Depends.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll let you know on Thursday, because I'm supposed to be getting this new chuck on Monday. So we'll see how it goes.
You'll be like a kid in a toy shop.
Dog with 2 tails. Like a dog with 2 tails.
Yeah.
And one set of jaws. I use 2-inch jaws for most things anyway, so.
Mark, it turned again. Krafts says he started in COVID. Are you still got the same bug, Mark?
Yes.
Because obviously you started because, what can I
Yes.
do? I'll start wood turning. I liked it. Nothing to do now. Has it got you? You know what I mean? Some people then buy all the kit and they sell it after they go back to work,
Yeah.
But I've seen Mark around quite a bit, so I think he probably loves
No,
it.
I think he's
Roy's the
captured
boys
me.
in. Roy's the boys lay.
Oh, gee.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah. What time of day is this to be coming in, Roy?
Get in the corner
I don't know.
and face the wall.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Waste the rations, you are, Roy. In the corner, face the wall. Repeat after me. Must not be late in future for Steve's life.
Right, last little bit. I'm just going to put some embellishing wax in that.
Never.
Last little bit, look, and Roy's just turned up.
I'm only going to put it on the domey bit here because I just.
I was going to say gently, yes.
And worse than that, there's no plumb involved either. I don't know. Margaret Turn again says, yes, and now my son Jack also has the bug. So
Oh,
we now have a
cooking,
late
lovely.
each.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. That's
Yep.
the way to go.
Oh, sorry, Roy. Yeah, of course you've been out all day. Roy's now in Cornwall. He's joined the. He's
What kind
gone
of
to the other
excuse is that?
side. He's on holiday in Cornwall.
On the dark
Well,
side,
he was in Bristol actually yesterday, so you're probably still in Bristol, Roy, aren't you? Or have you got to Cornwall yet? I don't know.
You know what I
Going
didn't
down
do?
to Newquay or halfway between Newquay and somewhere.
You know what I didn't do, don't you?
Be careful because they eat their own young. What have you done? What have you not done?
I didn't seal it.
Oh, don't worry. It'll go in still.
Mm.
Are you in Newquay yet, Roy? Or watch the seagulls down there, mind. They'll take the fish and chips straight around. They will. They're headers, they are. They send one in behind.
Forget the mushy peas.
He's in Cornwall now. Now the seagulls, they send one in behind to hit you in the back of the head. When you turn around, the others pile in and grab your chips. Yeah.
Yeah.
My father was Cornish. Never mind.
Well, his mum was a pasty.
well.
Oh,
The problem is you don't get to pick your parents, Terry. So
You don't. No. He was down from Truro, which is real Cornish. It's down the bottom end.
that's almost fallen off the edge, isn't it?
Well, like he used to say to me, trouble is, Terry, he used to say, you get down there, he said, and if you look at one person and you're driving along the street and you look at another 4 or 5, he said, there's similarities with all of them.
That's where Jeffro come from, wasn't it, Truro?
Yeah, that's right, Jeffro.
Trying to say there's a bit of inbreeding going on down there. isn't it? Sounds a bit like the modern coastal plain over here.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. You get out in the modern coastal plains, there's about 5 surnames.
Yeah. There's 16,000 people, yeah.
What's this? My wife thinks 300 quid is very expensive for an evolution air respirator, and she smokes.
She smokes.
Get the respirator, Raymond. Never you
Give her the
just buy the
respirator.
respirator.
£320 is not expensive for a respirator.
Considering she spends a lot more than that in cigarettes a year, I would imagine. And she's polluting the air.
£320 for a respirator, that's not dear. It's not expensive. The thing is, of course, what do you rate your lungs at? £320, or then do you want to go to a hospital and, them spend 15,000 on you because you got, what's it called? Not OCD,
not to mention the price of the cigarettes themselves.
Yeah, I think they're like £8 or £10 a packet here.
No,
Gary,
$15,
it's been
$20.
£15
Oh, okay.
Gary.
Yeah, for 20 cigarettes.
You think that would turn you off from smoking right there just for that?
You would think.
You would think, right?
Andy's just said, Brian, you know that chuck you just ordered? Roy will get one down the pub for 10 bob.
He probably will.
That wouldn't surprise me. He's always doing a deal somewhere.
Half it.
Yeah.
Robert says the seagulls in Cornwall take the fish out of the fryer.
Yeah. Burnt beaks and all.
Very nice part of the country, man.
Things are only expensive. Things are only expensive on the very first day.
Yeah.
Wilbert Lerner says smoking killed his mum. No, it didn't, Andy. Lack of breath did.
Yeah, well, it didn't help my mother either, I have to tell you. After a quadruple
Didn't help my
bypass, she
father.
still wouldn't give up smoking.
My father had cancer, poor old boy. But yeah,
that's
that
what
was
killed my
smoking.
mother in the end, cancer.
Can you still smoke in restaurants?
Nope.
UK? No.
Nope.
Some places you can't
smoking
even
in-
smoke outside.
No
Yeah.
smoking in any public place.
Okay.
Nope, not allowed to smoke.
Quite right, Ty.
And yet you go back, I don't know, 100 years. They used to smoke on airplanes when they first
on
started
airplanes.
flying, didn't they?
You don't have to
said
go back
that.
100 years for that, Terry. You only have
Or
to go back
50 years or whatever it
before
was.
2000, and
Yeah.
people were smoking everywhere.
Look at the cars back in the 60s, 70s. They had ashtrays in them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's it. Yeah, they did.
now people put coins in them or their devices.
We had
Yeah, and nicotine-coloured headliners.
Yeah, I remember that. My grandparents.
I remember when they brought out because we were in the EU at the time, before we Brexit and all the rest of it, and they brought in EU-wide, including Britain, no smoking in restaurants and in all these places, public places, no smoking. And then a week later, Ruth and I went to France for a holiday for 2 weeks.
Oh.
And we get a ferry from where we used to live, always get the same ferry over, and then drive to a place called Morlaix, and we'd always have breakfast there, in this cafe. So we drive to Morlaix to this cafe, we walk in, it's 2 weeks after the ban everywhere. You couldn't see through the smoke. It was that bad. And I said to the guy behind the dash, behind the bar, smoking is illegal? Is illegal EU? No smoking. He said, yeah, not in France, boy. And we went back last year for a holiday in France, and they were still smoking.
Were they really? Okay.
Didn't give a damn. Didn't give a damn. And that's how many years now? 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good fun though.
Mm-hmm. What was that you're spraying on that now?
Just a little bit of clear acrylic lacquer just to seal the colours.
Looks very sort of spongy. I like it.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Pity those little bits broke off. Can you glue them back on or not?
I can't find them. If not, I would have done.
I'll tell you what. You want to snap off one? That's exactly a third for the others, and it'll be exactly right. That's it. Snap one of those off, and it'll be symmetrical.
I might use them for mountain points.
Good
You
idea.
do what?
Use one of them for a mountain point on the
Yeah,
base.
Down to a-
Terry's right
onto
though.
a base.
If you took one off at 120 degrees from the other ones, you would be
Symmetrical.
almost right.
It'd be perfect.
There you go.
Bit further round, Steve. Bit further
Oh,
round.
I ain't doing it now. I'll get.
Oh,
I'll
get the
get-
pliers out, snap
No,
it
I'll
off.
get-
Measure it and then snap it off.
I'll get.
Measure it and snap
I'll
it
get
off.
something in there and cut it properly rather than Neanderthal and break it off.
Oh. Where's your sense of adventure, Steve?
Because I know what happened. Half of the thing will fall off.
Trouble is, the one on that side is on side grain, so that won't come off easily. Those two are on end grain. By the look of it. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
I pulled the wire at my chair. No,
I know what happened. As soon as I try and break it, that'll break a great big chunk off. Where I can get something in there neatly and just break it off gently.
fret saw.
So just give us a little bit of a dusting of.
Does anybody have a fret saw anymore?
Yeah, I got
yeah,
one.
I got one. I got a fret saw
Use one all the time.
and a coping saw.
Oh, coping saw.
Yeah.
I don't know how you managed to
6-inch
cope all
blade.
that.
6-inch blade coping saw. Tiny little teeth. Nowadays, of course, people don't use that. They use these things that go, what's the name?
Scroll saw.
Scroll saw, isn't it? That's right.
So, yeah.
That's one thing I don't have actually is a scroll saw.
I had one but sold it.
I never found the need for one, to be honest.
Sold it to
All the
Richard
way.
Fionn.
There has been a few times when I think I wish I had a scroll saw. But,
You can do most things on a bandsaw or with a coping saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or with a little Dremel type thing with a, cutter.
Mm.
That looks damn amazing, Steve, says Robert Broadford.
Thank you, Robert. Don't forget anybody who wants to enter their piece into #week or hasn't already sent me their pieces. They need to get over tonight. So
Yes.
I can start working on the.
I sent mine ages ago.
You liar. You,
Don't forget
you
to send
sent-
your gonks
you sent
in,
it 2
pictures of
hours ago
gonks.
when we started this live.
Pictures of gonks. That was ages for me. Yeah, it's very good, that, Steve. It's come out. Pretty like that.
Oh, just type that, wasn't you, in the typing box?
So just a little
And
bit
he
of-
says he's got both, plus a scroll saw. Do you use them, though? Because we never see any of
That's
your
not
work.
right.
You
That's
only
not
use
right.
them.
Ignore that email, it's not correct.
We'll take it off.
Can't.
course you can.
We can. I'll do it in a minute.
Hit the 3 dots and delete it. Delete the message. Siri SK, not SH. Yeah.
I know. So it's a finger problem.
No, it's not. Old problem.
Old.
It's an old and decrepit, scratchety problem.
So that's as far as I'm going to go tonight, I think.
Thank goodness.
With friends like you, Bray.
Tough,
Oh, I just dropped it now. Just...
Andy
tough
Wood.
crowd, man.
Dropped
Tough
it. He's
crowd.
dropped it. That's probably broke the other bit.
Broke all these bits off now.
You didn't drop it again, did you?
He did. He broke pieces off.
Ah,
Did they
Steve.
break in the? Did they break in the correct place?
No.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
Good.
Hashtag is single piece gunk.
Yeah, single piece gong. Or you could do if you want, you could do a decent job and make a 2-piece gong and thread the
Like Terry did. You know,
Somebody
show off
did.
Terry. No.
Well,
Push Terry to
because-
show off.
Susie the Swiss woodturner asked me to, and Pete Twisted Trees bullied me into it.
He did. He really did bully you this time, I
He
remember.
bully me into it. I thought, I'll have him. I'll do it.
Looks like I've got some gluing to do tomorrow now.
Looks like it. I
Ah.
didn't know you were making a jigsaw.
Jeez. It's just flipped, just rolled out of my hand. That's Bray's fault. I blame Terry.
Nothing to do with me.
Of course it's
I
Terry's
just,
fault.
you know,
Everything's
was
Terry's
will-
fault.
Was willing that. Well, talking about threading it, I always thread it by hand, of course, but I did watch Simon Oakes do a demonstration on his threading jig, and I must admit it is nice to watch and nice to see the different threads you can put through 'em.
Hmm.
I'm seriously thinking I'll maybe have a go at that,
Oh, I'll go on then.
just for a laugh.
Just for a
I
laugh.
know I can do it by hand, so you know. I know I can do it by hand, so why, you know, but just. And then I could probably take it to a demonstration somewhere and say, I'm going to do a threaded box tonight and get the jig out, you see, and get to set it up to do it by threading jig. And I say, oh, can't do it by hand then. And I'll take that away and do it by hand, see. The prize of all.
Right. So
Oh, that's not bad, Steve. It's
there's the broken.
now you've got to break it in 4
Oh, it's pretty
pieces,
well
'cause you've got
balanced
1, 2, 3, yeah. 4, you need to take another one out now.
No, I will glue them bits back in.
Up at the lemma clock position from where we're looking.
I can glue them back in. Don't worry.
Take 4 out. I
Don't
would
panic.
just turn that.
Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Don't panic. I will sort that out tomorrow.
Tell you what to do. Put it back on the lid, turn that bit off.
Yeah, turn that bit off. Yeah. Just have a little disc. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to sit in the corner and cry now.
Well, I mean,
Never
at least
knew
you
what
did
he
something
said.
while we
Never
were
knew what he-
talking. You know, I mean,
Critics, they're hard. They're tough on you.
critics. Yeah, we
No
are
point
terrible.
trying to spilt milk or broken bowls.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Never mind. It's only a bit of wood. Wood. Let me put that through. That's filthy. Just clean my
But
hair.
yeah,
down.
I mean, the other problem is as well is ash, so it's wide grained in it. If it had been something tighter, it
Yeah.
wouldn't have broken off on the end grain.
Well, if I hadn't dropped it, that wouldn't have broke off anyway.
No, that was deliberate.
Paul Cameron's just said, sorry, Steve, I had
Yeah.
you muted. Are those breaks at the golden ratio point or something?
Banned.
Well, if he breaks
Yeah.
that Y at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, if he breaks that Y bit off there, that would be right.
William Kenny adds a comment. He says, looked great, Steve. Oh, well, it did.
So
I'd
I'll
like to
repair it.
thank you guys. I was gonna say, thanks for having me on your last earworm, because you'll probably not do another one after this beating.
Yeah.
I've got broad shoulders, Doug. I've got broad shoulders.
Doug, they wouldn't watch him if it weren't for Brian and I as well. They wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
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 Right.
They only come for us two.
Yeah, they're actually the stars of the show.
Yeah. So were those two Muppet guys on.
Well, there you come to mention it, Doug.
Waldorf and Stadler. Yeah, that's
Stadler
us.
and Waldorf.
Sattler and
Waldorf. Yeah, that's
Waldorf. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's
They call us that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy the Woodwork Learner wants to know, can we put the hashtag announcement back 1 week?
No,
because he's always out the first Sunday of the month.
no.
No.
If I put it back a month, that'll be in the
So-
month before, won't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely no chance, Andy. Just
No. You just give up the
catch
demo.
up. No, just catch up. It's as simple.
Yeah.
No, it's not a big
You
deal.
never put any pictures anyway, so we're not going to see none of yours, are we? You know,
Right. Turn these cameras off now.
here we are,
Had enough now.
back again. Get your clothes on, Brian.
It's warm in there.
Put my clothes on.
You're back on camera.
Oh, that's all right. I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Oh, damn. Let's have a look. What we got? Half past. Oh, we're not close far off.
Paul Calvin has just said, are those Norse runes around the edge? I think it says, caution. Right
Yeah.
I'll
But we
repair.
all know that Steve drops everything when he takes it off.
I
the
love your
lathe.
sense of humour, Paul. It's brilliant.
I just rolled out. I had it in my hand. I just
Obviously it's
rolled out of my hand.
Yeah, of course it did.
Hit the leg of the lathe, and that was it. It was gone. Never mind.
Now we know why you don't play cricket for England.
No. They kicked me out of the county when I used to play cricket for the county. Anyway, never mind. It's only a bit of
Anyway.
wood.
Did a good job, Steve.
Yep.
Well,
Thank
did
you.
a job.
It looks good.
So I'll repair it and then
And we've enjoyed
I'll,
ourselves anyway.
It was almost a finished project.
almost. Well, not quite. I still got the base nut to do.
We've enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, I had good fun.
Doug's kept us appraised of Easyward tools, and
He has
fa-
indeed.
and everything's done in America. None of it's Chinese.
Nice. Yep.
Or-
Handmade. Everyone's handmade.
and
So,
Couldn't believe that when I seen the little video that the guys were actually, when the guys sprayed them, they're all kind of individual. And
thank you.
it's
Appreciate,
really good.
appreciate the compliment.
Everything in
We
house.
take
Yeah.
pride in it. Take pride.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to be. Pride in your products.
well, that's the other thing in it. You're taking pride in your work.
Yeah, yeah. It makes it so much easier when you're out and you're in retailers. I mean, I can say we are quality is second to none. I mean, I don't ever apologize for anything that that they may seem out of place or if we say that, it's because it is true that we do take pride in making these things one at a time, and they are built to last a lifetime.
Yeah, which is what we want.
So, but thank you very much for having us too. Appreciate the invite.
This is what everybody
welcome.
needs. One of these.
Great to see you.
Yep. Have you gone through the cutter
Afraid to
yet,
use it,
Steve, or
Steve.
you need another cutter?
You got mate?
He's afraid to use it.
Say
He
again,
left it in
Doug,
the
sorry?
packet.
Have you used up the cutter, or are you still using the same cutter?
I'm on the second one now. The second one. I'm on the
Okay.
second cut.
Okay.
So,
Very good.
right. I'm just going to quickly show you guys something I'm on the process. This is a project that I'm making in the background. It's nothing to do with wood turning, but it's
Put it on
okay.
full screen.
Put yourself in full
Uh,
screen. Yeah.
That one there, isn't it? So I was just looking on Tinkercad the other day. No, not Tinker, Thinker Thieves the other day, and I found this sword. I thought it was going to be a miniature sword, but it's actually full size. So as you can see, came in 9 different pieces. Blade was in 7 pieces. Then the guard, then the handle. The pommel had a cross in it, which I didn't like, so I designed that to go onto it. So got that on both sides. But the idea is to make it look like it's been in the ground for 500 years. So as you can see, the blade, I've made it look all
Oh, yeah. Oh,
patinaed
Yeah,
and
it looked
pitted.
hammered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the guard is the same. I'm going to wire wrap the handle. I've got some silver wire
Very
coming
good.
for that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the Chromacraft colours on this to make it look all rusty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the plan. But there is a bit, I haven't videoed the whole process, but there is snippets coming.
We'll say thank God for that.
When
Yeah.
you're going to get your uniform to go with it, the Viking uniform.
Viking, no, that'd be, oh, that wouldn't be a Viking uniform. It's not a Viking sword.
Oh.
William Kenny says I have the pro hauler and he loves
Yeah.
it.
Is that
Yep.
for my knighthood? That'd be. I'll never.
Number
People
one.
like me don't get knighthoods, Andy.
No. Not us plebs.
We
Yeah,
are
knights.
now in the process of sorting out for this year's makers auction. So that's in the making.
Ooh.
So keep your eyes open for that. We have. Well, we still need to decide on who we're going to do it for yet. But as soon as we know, we will let you know. So
We'll
gonna
have a discussion about that.
Yeah, we're going to hopefully be the end of October, like it always is. So
Mhm.
keep your
Yep.
eyes open. So other than,
A little bit before Christmas.
What was it? What was the total last year? Just to remind people,
hang on,
roughly.
I need to get my phone. Just I was either
Yeah,
just
you don't
under
have
or
to.
just
It's not to the
just
penny,
under
but,
or
you know,
just over £4,000. I can't remember which one it was.
that's
Just
pretty
over,
good.
I think.
And that was for
British
again.
Heart Foundation.
I forgot. British Art
Yeah.
Foundation. That's paid for my 3 art stints I had. That's pretty good.
No, I bet you I didn't.
No, probably didn't actually.
I got this thing implanted in my chest,
Mhm.
and the retail price, because it's an American thing, you can look it up. The retail price is $8,000
Yeah.
for that little thing in my chest. It's crazy.
Wow.
Actually, when the doctor was pushing one of the stents in, he put it in. It was too short. These things are made like little springy wire things, and they go in and then they expand out.
Mm.
And it was about a quarter of an inch too short. It was 2 inches long, and he said, "Give me a 50mm one." So they give him a 50mm one, you know. And I watched him push it into my arm on the screen, and then they tested it, and it was bleeding both one of the sides. He said it's not long enough, so he upped it back out again, and he got out of it, and it was made of metal, and he threw it across the room, and blamed this little Thai girl, and he called her Thailand. You know, Thailand, it's too short. That's another £3,000 wasted. Get me a 58mm one. He said, she come back with put another one in. So I'm sitting there like this, you know, the thing up my arm and my arm, bump. It started to beat a bit faster. Then when she give me another one.
So the running total at the moment is £3,810.
Oh,
there you
brilliant! That's not bad. Okay, well,
It's very good.
we'll hopefully, do better, and we'll do another charity. That'll be good.
Yeah, help somebody.
I think we should look at Terry's charity.
What, old age?
Yeah.
No, Alzheimer's Society.
No, hey, Archie's talking.
Don't go. Whoa.
What?
We could look at the broken ribs because we fell off a tractor society, Brian, couldn't we?
We could.
We're off, and they're off. Right, we're gonna go. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Well,
You
we
can
are
stay
now.
there.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You hang around for a minute, Doug.
Cheer, everybody.
Yep, I will.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Good
much,
evening,
guys, for coming over.
Hope
Don't
you's
forget,
all
if you've got hashtag photographs to send me over, send them over tonight. I will not be here Sunday because I'm at the gun club on Sunday, so no live from me on Sunday. Terry will be back, though. He's got something new to show you, apparently.
7 o'clock. Something new to show you. It'd be brilliant. Be there, and you will see.
Be there or be
Stunning.
Right, so other than that, guys, thanks for coming over. Hope you've enjoyed me. I've had a smashing time. So,
Yeah, we see that.
So with that, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Oh no, it's not next week. It's the week after, isn't it? That's
Oh.
right. I thought that was podcast, but it's not. It's the week after, isn't it? So
No, podcast is a week after.
so anyway, guys,
no.
take care. Speak to you soon. Bye for now. Say bye, guys. Thanks, Doug. Thanks.
Bye,
for-
everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming in. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. You know you want to.
That's all, folks.